All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Expedition Layering Systems with Vitaly and I. If you didn't check out the last episode, we went over all of the layers for the tops and upper layers, and this one we're going to go over all of the bottom layers. And I think we'll do similar format where I run through my system, Vitaly run through his system, and we'll ask each other some questions and work out any kinks.
We really don't have very many things that are different from each other. Like on every expedition, I personally bring two bottom layers. This is just some old Arc'teryx bottom layer, which is pretty thin and very comfortable to wear. I bought this bottom layer, which is a heavier one, on Amazon for like $15. And I really don't think there is much need to spend a lot of money on bottom layers because synthetics could be bought for very cheap, and you're just trying to keep your legs a bit protected and insulated from your shell pants most of the time. And the big variation that I would say that makes a difference about how you layer is what exactly are you climbing. Because if you are somebody that is fairly slow and are trying to climb Mount Denali or a peak like Everest or a 8,000 meter peak or something really cold, I would say you want to put a base layer on the bottom that is on the heavy side, then an insulated mid layer like these Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer pants, and then maybe a shell on top of that and your down pants on top of that. Versus if you're climbing a rock route in Patagonia, you probably want a thin base layer and some shell pants on top of that, and the down pants to just come with you in your pack in case shit hits the fan and it gets really gnarly. On 90% of my expeditions, I basically just have a base layer, shell pants, and down pants. The thing I'm looking for in my shell pants are full zips, and a few pockets would also be nice, but not necessary. I typically like the waterproof shell pants that are lightweight, and this True Dark pant is actually very nice. What I like a lot is that they have the bottoms reinforced with Dyneema, which makes it harder to rip them apart with a crampon. And I think by now I sort of advertised these Western mountaineering pants for all the friends that come on expeditions with me. I feel like they are the lightest, warmest down pant layer that I could think of right now. And both Christian and Sean have the same down pants on this expedition. Do you have any questions? Do you think I could elaborate on anything else?
So, do you notice the difference between synthetic or down base layer bottoms? And do you wear underwear beneath those or not?
So usually I just wear a synthetic base layer on most actual technical alpine climbs. I never wear these mid-layer down pants. I bring them into the base camp, and I walk around in them in the evening or in the daytime, depending on temperatures. And on the actual climb, I just bring a base layer, shell, and the down pants. But yeah, if I was climbing a really cold and high peak, I would add these just for added warmth. These are just a lot more comfortable. They allow you to move better, and they allow you to layer better. These don't have as much stretch in them, so if you're climbing something technical, you will not be able to move as efficiently. And I do not wear an underwear. Well, on an alpine climb, when I already have a base layer on. That's my underwear. I do bring an underwear on the expedition and wear it in base camp like right now. And I do also have just some stretchy climbing pants in base camp with me, as well as shorts. But if I was on Mount Denali, for example, I would probably not bring these stretchy climbing pants, and I would just keep to the layers that are right here, including this one for 14,000 camp. And on the summit day, because I personally move fast, I would pack, I would wear the base layer, shell pants, and keep these in the backpack. But I feel like most people who are not going to be moving as fast would want to wear the down pants on them.
Yeah, sounds good. It's pretty similar to what I got. Okay, so my system's pretty similar to Vitaly's. I'll go like inside to out. I obviously bring underwear on climbing trips. I like wool ones because they don't stink as much after many days. So, in my opinion, it's worth it to like spend an extra $20 to get some wool underwear so you don't smell bad for weeks on end.
These are subjective differences.
And
I
then,
smell like violets and roses.
And also like Vitali, I like to bring 2 pairs of long underwear. Again, I prefer wool ones just because they don't smell as much after a while. These really thin ones, I just wear around base camp mostly, like with shorts, because it protects me from the sun, but it's not hot. I just don't really like wearing pants if I don't have to. But on the climb, I'll take these like slightly thicker wool ones. I got these used at a gear exchange for like $15. I bought these ones used at a gear exchange. Just find whatever is within your budget. If I'm predominantly doing some rock climbing or I'm just like hiking into a base camp, like Vitali, I'll just wear some like stretchy climbing pants. These are some Outdoor Research something or others. I don't know. They're good. They're all kind of the same. But I won't take these up on like a technical alpine climb. I might wear these rock climbing, or I'll definitely wear these rock climbing, but not on like a boots and crampons type alpine climb.
Yeah, we would totally wear something like these in the Sierra or somewhere warmer and less hostile.
Yeah, or like a good weather window in Patagonia, I'd wear these rather than like a hard shell pant. So, since we're talking sort of about like the high peaks that we're at now in the Garhwal Himalaya, my layering system that I would actually take up on the climb with me would be the warm long underwear with no underwear underneath, like Vitali is just like too hot. And then my shell pants on top of that. I've been wearing these Patagonia dual aspect bibs. There's like really light bibs. They have like a drop seat for going to the bathroom and a little bit of crampon reinforcement. They're not full zip, which I kind of wish they were, but honestly, I leave them on 100% of the time, even when sleeping up there. So it doesn't really matter that much.
And I just wanted to add that I have the same pair of pants as Christian, but I prefer the pants that give you the ability to zip open the sides, because on warm glacier approaches, which we do quite often, it's just so nice to have. And I do not like the part of like the bib part, because I feel like it sometimes also can leave you a bit too warm and gives you less flexibility with layering.
I generally agree with Vitali on this. I've been on the search for the perfect like hard shell pants and just haven't found them yet. These I just bought before this trip because they were on sale for $100, like over half price off.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used them before and they were good. Like I said, I wish they were full zip. But yeah, like being able to vent the sides when you're hiking and you're wearing them all the time is really nice. The bib part for me is a little bit hit or miss. This is a mesh bib, so it doesn't really make you too hot. It is a little annoying to take on and off, but I do like that it kind of keeps my layers tucked in and I don't get that like gap in between my harness and my pants and get cold, because I'm really skinny, and then if I get cold fast type thing. So these have been okay. They're, they could be a little bit better if they were full zip, but otherwise they're pretty good.
I've been wearing them on all the ice climbing trips basically. I love how they fit, and if you don't, you're not going to be crossing a hot glacier, they're perfectly fine for, they're one of my favorite pants too.
Yeah. And I would say in general,
And I love that they have pockets. That's like one of the things I really love.
yeah, they do have a pocket, which is nice. And I would say in general, in choosing a bib versus pants, for me, if there's gonna be a lot more snow involved, I'm gonna take a bib, just because like if you're glissading, you're doing whatever, you don't get it in your pants. But it would also probably need to be a little bit colder for me to wear a bib most of the time. These are the other like hard shell pants I have. Again, I bought these on sale because I needed something for a Patagonia trip, and they fit and were cheap enough. These are actually some like mountain biking hard shell pants that I found, but they fit really well over an ice boot, and they zip up, so it's like easy to take your boots and crampons on and off. And they have a couple pockets, and they just fit nice. But
They're so light.
yeah, and they're really light, which is pretty nice. But yeah, on top of that, I also bring a synthetic pair and a down pair of puffy pants. And for me, the distinction of when I would wear them is if I think it's going to be cold enough where I might actually be climbing in the puffy pants, which we have done in our last trip to the Indian Himalaya. Yeah. I really like these synthetic pants because they don't wet out and they're a little bit more durable. If I'm just going to be putting the pants on like out of belay or like in the tent to add warmth to my sleeping bag or whatever, then I'm going to bring the lighter down pants. So on this climb up here, because we're going to be climbing, hopefully, like a southeast sunny face most of the day, and then it'll be cold at night, I'll just take the puffy pant, the down ones, and not the synthetic ones up with me.
And they might be even lighter. It will honestly be close.
Yeah, I think the synthetic the down ones are a little bit lighter than synthetic ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and warmer, which is nice.
Because I have the same pair too.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same boat when it comes to if I'm climbing, I like those because they're less bulky and like more ergonomically comfortable for climbing. But then if you want to be actually comfortable and warm, then you want the Western mountaineering ones that are down.
Yeah.
Even though it kind of makes you feel like a marshmallow.
Yeah, and also like if you nick these with a crampon, you're not gonna like explode down everywhere. Whereas like if you climb in these and nick them, it like becomes kind of an issue, not like an actual issue, but it's really annoying and you lose a lot of down out of your pants.
They're super expensive.
Yeah, and so
and I do not have a pro deal on them, unfortunately.
I will never climb in these probably, but I'll climb in the synthetic ones. And then the last part of the system here that I'll add in is whether or not you might want a pair of sort of down booties to wear. You know, for stuff like Patagonia, I almost never take these. It's like never cold enough. These are really good for hanging out at like high camps or base camps, like at Denali. And because our approach to high camp here is pretty high, I'm probably not going to take them. But these ones are nice because these Feathered Friends ones are nice because you can take out the inner booty and leave the bottom here and just have a warm sock, which is pretty nice because on our particular climb, you know, we're going to be almost at 7,000 meters and we're taking 20-degree quilts.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be wearing our layers to add warmth to the light sleeping bags. Your feet can be a little bit cold, and so having a sort of like down sock type feature can add a bit of warmth. And the last part I'll add to that is, as far as socks go, I have my climbing socks and my thicker nothing but sleeping socks that are always dry. This is very important because if your feet or your boots get soaked and you try to go to sleep, your feet are going to get really cold. So you always want to have a really nice pair of dry socks to sleep in, and it'll just make it a non-issue as far as your feet warming up and getting dry again. So dry socks plus a down sock plus these puffy pants in a 20-degree sleeping bag at 7,000 meters, and you're actually plenty warm, you know, maybe even hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So don't discount the utility of using your layers to add warmth to your sleep system.
Yes, exactly. One of the things I just wanted to add is I have the same thing, which is down socks that I bring on the climb. And if I am going to a place like, you know, Denali, and there's a base camp at 14,000 feet, which is full of snow, which is totally different than what we have here now, is that I would bring booties like these. And just like Christian, on every alpine climb, when we are BBing on the route, I bring 2 pairs of socks, ones that I'm wearing and other ones that I'm sleeping in, and then wearing on the following day. And the way I do it is I change into my dry socks when we get to camp. I put my down booties on with down socks on. They're super light and not very expensive. These are from Z-Packs and Enlightened Equipment, and somehow I lost one and the other part of these pairs and ended up with 2 different colors. And to dry off the socks that I wore through the day, I usually put them under my base layer, and I sleep with them. And especially when I am cooking my meal, I like to put the warm meal over the socks and kind of like help them dry off, and then maybe put them in the bottom of the quilt so that over the course of the night, the other pairs of socks dries off. Then I pack them, and once I'm done climbing for the day, and we make a camp, I'll change into those dry socks again.
Yep. Yep.
Do you actually have a separate pair that you only sleeping with, and you take it off in the morning?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
do. I have this like thicker pair of darn tough wool socks that are probably a little too warm for me to climb in my boots,
Okay.
but are great for sleeping in. And like Vitali, I'll unzip basically like below my like grid fleece R1 layer or whatever. I'll put my socks like in my armpits and sleep with them, and then your body heat dries them out overnight, like 90% of the way. And then in the morning, I'll switch them back on to my climbing socks.
Yeah, I'm too. In the mornings, I don't want to do any extra steps, so I don't change my socks. But there are so many ways to skin the cat when you're alpine climbing. There will be, like slight differences in the way that people
Yeah.
are doing things. But
One other minor thing here is if you're wearing some sort of boots that have an inner booty, like these sort of like neoprene ones, or even like a thicker inner booty and like a full 6,000 meter boot, you can also wear these as your like down socks instead. However, if these wet out because you're climbing in them, it's not as effective. But I was using this the other day when I didn't have my down socks with me up there because I was climbing in my boots without this because it was too warm, and then I put these on at night, and it added a bit of extra warmth without the down sock, which worked pretty well. And then I would use this on the upper mountain where it's colder to add warmth to my actual boots.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I got that idea from Shauna, actually, and it worked well.
Yeah, everybody that I climb with does things slightly differently, and then you can just like pick the best advice from your partners, and now we can just share it with whoever wants to watch it.
Yep.
Which is the point of this whole series.
So that's the bottom layers. They're pretty simple. If you find a really sick pair of hardshell pants that meet all of my needs, please let me know what they are so I can buy them, because I've yet to find them. And in our next
What
video,
are all your needs? What do you like?
ooh, my dream hardshell pant would be full zip with a easy to put on like bib that's like not very hard, or, like not very warm, like
Like a
meshy, kind of like
lightweight,
these, like meshy but easier to put
sort
on.
of like like your
Yeah.
mountain biking pants, but lighter weight.
Well, basically, if this bib wasn't so annoying to put on, that would be awesome. I like the mesh because it doesn't make me any hotter.
Yeah.
I wish they were full zip, and I wish they had maybe a small chest pocket for a phone or something,
Yeah.
and maybe a second side pocket. That's kind of my dream pair of bib or.
Well, if you're listening,
hardshell pants.
Patagonia, you know what to make to improve upon this last model.
Yeah. One thing I'll mention about these bibs is they do have a fly here for peeing, which actually is incredibly easy to use and very important. I think
It's crazy. I had a pair of Mountain Hardwear shell pants. They were supposed to be super light, and they were, but they did not have a fly. Well, they do not have a fly. I still have them. But it's kind of crazy, in my opinion, to have a guy's version of a pant without a fly
Yeah.
for ice climbing.
So
Another thing I gotta say is it would be kind of, I don't know. What are your thoughts about the Reco edition?
Okay, yeah. So the Reco is, I don't claim to be an expert, but my understanding is that it's a piece of technology that doesn't require any battery. It's like a reflector, and it's more or less in case you get buried in an avalanche and you're dead.
Yeah.
And they find your body. It helps the search and rescue teams who have the Reco signal detectors. They fly a helicopter around the Avi debris piles and they can locate bodies. And so it's not going to save your life, obviously. It
Yeah.
might get your body back to your family. And at the cost of no weight loss, like whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought Christian would have some opinions on that because he was part of the search and rescue teams for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it can give someone some peace of mind later if, unfortunately, you go that way.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll mention about these bibs is this zipper to extend the width of the cuff at the bottom, which can be nice if you need to put them over ski boots. Typically for a climbing boot, zipped up is about the right size. And then if you want an even tighter fit so that you make sure you don't catch your cramp on, you can buckle it back one more, and that is kind of a nice feature as well.
Yeah.
So I do like that part about them. They also have these little loops at the bottom for tying some shock cord to go around the bottom of your boot to hold the pant down so it doesn't slide up if you're post holing a lot and snow gets in your boots. So that's also a nice feature.
Yeah, I like that feature a lot.
Basically, if these were full zip and the bib wasn't annoying to put on, they'd be perfect.
Yep.
So if you fix that, Patagonia, let me know.
Give us a discount too. Nothing else, huh?
Yeah, so that's our bottom layering systems. And in our next episode, we'll do glove systems. And then we'll also have one about boots and one about backpacks. And
shoes.
and shoes. We'll keep going. All right, thanks.